Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing well, having a great day or a great night, and let's get started. So Dow Jones, not tomorrow, so it starts tomorrow, the next FOMC, and then we are going to have to see the outcome on 18. So first thing, let's draw the 18 right here. Let's jump into the 4. Okay. So as you guys know, this Friday we had the new debt ceiling. Was on 16, right? 16, yes. So it was approved for 6 months, which is going to end in September. And as you guys know, October is the new fiscal year for 2026, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So we had two major things to be considered to take into account here. The first one is over. Yes. So now we still have one, which is the phones, if they are going to cut rates or not. And we do know that's what Trump wants because he wants cheaper contracts, right? So lower interest rates, you end up with cheaper contracts. That's what he wants. So we still have just one more thing before things get clear. And yeah, so before we jump into this, let's talk about what we have here right now. If we go, let me see, to the daily, yes. Okay, I'm not sure, don't remember exactly if we talked about this before. I don't remember if it was in public, but of course we talked about in the Champions Club about Dow Jones' unique behavior. Okay, so there are two things that happens that are very unique to Dow Jones. So one is a structure, and the other is a behavior before the FOMC meetings when there is when a change is going to happen, if it is to increase or to decrease rates. So if I'm not wrong, we talked about this. So the structure is we have a low, then we have a high, we have another low, or no, this is correct. Yes, it is correct because there are multiple ways to look into this. So the low, the high, the low, high, low. This is the most common behavior we are going to see in corrections in Dow Jones. So this is nothing new. It happens very, very often, especially when we have flat floor or flat structure before. Okay. To be honest, it was a mistake from my side that I thought that Dow Jones and the US market would hold a higher low and then we could go from here. So this was a really bad mistake because I didn't took into consideration the flatness. I mean, I knew it was there. Also, another head and shoulders that failed. We talked about this back in the day. So people who said Bitcoin had a head and shoulders and would break. So we talked about this, right? And the interesting thing here is that we can have the head and shoulders outcome without the head and shoulders itself. So the head and shoulders almost, so it's let's say called double top, just for the sake of this example. And then right now we are going down. Okay, so it seems to me that the target can be close to what could be the target for the head and shoulders. So this is just one thing before we start to talk about more complex things. So we have this low so far, which aligns perfectly with we are aware of Dow Jones corrections, right? But we have one of the two things that is necessary for the markets to continue to go up. Once again, first, the new debt ceiling. It's approved. Now we are missing interest rate cut. If nothing happens, if the Fed doesn't do anything, I don't know what is going to happen. So I'm not going to take into consideration this scenario right now. But now what is most likely to happen is 3-day. Okay, so this one is interesting. Take a look here that we are already starting to have bullish signs. Okay, so this is a 3-day charts. We have a new low. We have the Dow Jones standard behavior pattern structure, whatever you want to call it. Now we have a bullish doge, which is not enough to make magic, but can be something. Okay, so things are looking good, right? And now we have the FOMC. So back to the daily, FOMC on 18. Everything appears to be good, right? Yes, but as we know, there is a lot of people who are bearish, a lot, and they are coming up with crazy targets that are not even close to reality. And what I'm thinking is, we do know that these people who are against the trend, they are right in the short term, but wrong in the longer term. And this has been happening already for a long time. You guys know it better. There is no news, nothing special about it, right? Now, let's follow this example. Blood Monday. Okay, let's say we have a Blood Monday tomorrow. We can see that the very beginning today in a few hours. The magic hour starts in 48 minutes. Okay, so let's see it starts bleeding the whole Monday. It is going to put a lot of pressure on the Fed, right? What if the Fed end up cutting rates? Okay, so let's say Blood Monday, right here. To be healthy, if this is right and to be healthy, it has to be above a previous low that we have here on the left side, which is right here. Can you see? It has to be above, because if it is not going to be, then it is likely to see more downside. You see? So this is not how I think things are going to unfold. But again, thinking is one thing. What is reality is other thing. So let's take into consideration this scenario right here. A new low. So we have low, low, another low, another low. Not sure if you guys remember before Bitcoin bottom back in the day what we did had. We had a very similar structure. So this one is a bit off, right? But if we do, oh, actually it's here. Yeah, so it's not in between here. There's nothing in between. So if you guys remember back in the day, we had this exactly kind of structure without a third one. Okay, so what happened was we went like down a bit, then up, then down, to then come back up, and then we went straight up, as you guys probably remember. So Blood Monday, probability, pressure on the FOMC meeting, and if they cut rates, we have the perfect scenario, the perfect storm for everything for the next probably 4 or 5 months. Okay, so right now, this is the scenario that I see. It's kind of a bad scenario, which turns to be a great one. Okay, so another thing, we are bullish in the bigger picture because we are following a trend, right? So we follow the trend. The trend is still bullish. There is no news. All these people who probably are going to be right in the short term, just think about this. Let's measure time. Once again, they are making bearish calls, right? We go down. As we go down, they are probably not getting satisfied, and they will probably ask or wait for more pain, more downside, because of what? Because they are still bearish. Okay, so we on the trend, waiting for a continuation, we are looking for this. right? And they are looking for this. Actually, they're looking for more, but in my opinion, that's what they are going to have. And we are going to have all of it. Okay? Equivalence of time. So, if all of this is right, and it is correct, then we are likely to see a Blood Monday, and then we can see Dow Jones going down almost 1,000 points, or probably a little bit above 1,000 points. We can see the fall of crypto, all of it, right? A temporary fall, okay? So this is one of the things that we had to talk about. Now we are going to talk about this. This is something that I described and mentioned on X many times about pivots on the Fed, the FOMC, the event itself. So what we have here is historical occurrences on the FOMC pivots, okay? When action, price, bullish activity is going to chase an event, and then we head into the opposite direction. It's a pivot. It changes direction. So just for you guys to get started, here we had a perfect scenario, bullish one, which broke with a marginal, let's say a closed target. Okay, if we take a look on the target for this structure, it's probably above. But so we had a high back in the day. It was a higher high, right? Or new highs. Then we went down to go up for a losers rally on the FOMC. So bullish activity, or let's say price chasing the event, to then go down right after it. Okay. Then we had what? In the next session, if I'm not wrong, we had nothing, like a pause. Okay. So what happened was we went straight up to the next meeting. So up until FOMC. Okay. Up until FOMC. So up until FOMC, up until FOMC. Then we had what? We had a big upside move, which was new highs, then new highs again. We went down for a marginal new high. And then what happened? Up to down. Let me clear this. Okay. So then here's another great example. Do you guys remember the pattern behavior on Dow Jones? So you see, in here, what we have. So you see how it keeps happening often and often and often. So it is nothing new. It is just there. It is us that have to pay closer attention on it, right? So up to the event, once again, down after the pivot, because we went down. Marginal highs, down. Then up to the event, down to the event. And I won't even jump into structures, their outcome, because once again, Dow Jones, it's a basket of the most valuable companies in the United States, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I believe it is. I don't remember if there is a field or not, but yeah. So it reflects the whole economy. You guys know it better, okay? So you guys know the drill. So looking into this, what is going to be our logical response? Well, we are about to go up, right? So that's the logical thought. But if I'm right, we can be right, and I believe we are in the bigger picture. So there is that thing, right about direction and wrong about time. So what does mean wrong about time? So we are right about the direction, but we are wrong about time. So it doesn't matter if it is 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It is not something relevant unless you are trading. If you're not trading, it is not relevant at all. Okay, because again, we are following the trend. And so, once again, right now, that's how I see it. Blood Monday, people will be scared to death. A lot of people are going to sell their holdings. And we do know this event is called a disaster capitalism, right? So that's how it works. They make something appears to be ugly when in reality it is not, and they know what's going on. They are going to absorb all of it. So once again, the public selling and smart money buy. This is also nothing new. Okay. So this is what I have to tell you guys about Dow Jones. Now the question is, what could be the impact on the crypto market for 1,000 points or 900 points drop into Dow Jones? What could be? What we could expect? Now let's take a look. Not this one. Just give me a second, please. Okay. Now we are going to take a look into Bitcoin and then XRP. Because as you guys know, they are following Dow Jones. You guys know the drill. And also we have something to talk about Bitcoin that is very relevant for XRP right now. So yeah, so let's jump here. So this is 31 August 20. Okay, so here it is. Some of you guys will remember all the analysis and videos from back in the day. We had this head and shoulders. Wasn't crystal clear, but was a head and shoulders. Okay, we were trading this one, so I remember like it was yesterday. Then we had this, a bearish development, but was a bear trap. And one of the worst mistakes I ever made in my whole career was here. Okay, so we made a lot of money from here to here. A lot. And one of the reasons was because we were using Bitcoin to trade Bitcoin, and this is very, very profitable in a bullish environment. And then here, I lost little money here. Yeah, I lost some because I was in denial. So I had multiple shorts here, but I had a tight stop gain. So I didn't end up losing any money here, but I lost here. Some wasn't even big because we have risk management. So that's not the point. The point is not money. The point is you are going to learn or you are going to be defeated by yourself. Okay, so please don't mind me because every time I go back into this scenario here, because there is a lot to be learned, even today, I talk about what happened. And it is a great way to keep up to yourself, you know, to stay in line, to not make the same mistakes and think twice, to try to think out of the box. So, with all this being said, what we have right now on XRP is some people are seeing a head and shoulders that is not a head and shoulders, but turn it to be a descending triangle. And if you take a closer look here, this was sort of a descending triangle. Sort of. Okay, so this is not the direction, the pivot orientation when you're looking for bullish development. So in my humble opinion, this was the perfect trap for bears. Okay, so for example, bearish outcome, bear, we would expect more bearish outcome again, but I was very, very wrong here. Okay, so why I'm bringing this up? Because XRP right now appears to be a mix of both these structures. I'm not saying it is exactly the same and that we are going to just blast the roof from now on. Okay? So let's do this. Let's go into XRP and then we go back to Bitcoin. It's probably better, right? Yeah. So XRP, here we are. So we can have, as we talked about before, we can have a head and shoulders with multiple shoulders. Even this one here, it's completely crazy, right? So this is not a head and shoulders, this is a trap. And I believe it can be a trap for both sides. There is another thing here. If we take a look into the pivot orientation, we have a perfect bear in the short term, folks. Just like on the example I gave you on Dow Jones. Remember? A Blood Monday to force the Fed hand, and then we go up. Okay? So, if this is true, all of it, Blood Monday, if the Fed is going to cut rates, what we could expect. $160 or $155. So I'm really not interested in the target. Just doing this for a better visual representation. Okay, whatever it is going to be, in my humble opinion, it's a trap. It's set. It's already in motion. Okay, so once again, if this is right, and I think it is, can be, there is a high chances. Okay, one of the reasons, once again, flat structures aren't bullish. There is no such a thing if support this, if support that. If it keeps touching one certain place, it's a sign of weakness, not of strength. So it is only a matter of time before it breaks. But it's also true that holds a lot of value. That's once again reason that as soon as we go down, we are going to come straight up. So these are my thoughts. I can be wrong, of course, but that's how I see this as a big, big trap. Okay. So just imagine people who are going to sell their coins to buy at a cheaper price. Some of them may even make a big deal, you know, get it right. But the vast majority are going to end up hurt. And the market is going to absorb it, as we do know, right? Once again, this behavior right here from the news on the strategic reserve should have invalidated all the bearish bias that we could have here. And why? Because it made a higher high against the previous one. So this should invalidate a head and shoulders, a descending triangle, a whatever bear that could be out there, right? But it's not what happened. And in reality, we had more than 100% correction since it happened. Okay, so now if we go closer, what we have right now, remember in the previous video that I said the correction of the previous move, then correction from the previous, so on and on and on? It's right here. Because this is a big zero, this is the kind of structure that we had. A correction from the previous drop. Then what we have? A correction from the previous drop again. And this is how we printing over and over again a bearish structure on top of something people call support. It may hold, may not hold, so it is not something that we can really rely on, okay? And that's why we don't. So let's see how this Monday it is going to be. If it is going to be like a flash downside move for everything, including Dow Jones West stocks, it has to be wild, like very, very fast, very. So let's see in the next couple hours how this is going to unfold, okay? So for XRP, that's it right now. There is nothing to see. Just one more thing that probably at this time, right now, it's starting to make more sense. You guys remember Mr. Pool chart? Well, it was quite a mystery. We couldn't get the pivots in order to find the number because he used two different scales. So it is not going to work, okay? It seems that, so everything that we are talking about right now leads to that scenario, the one that he shared. And it makes sense. Okay, so basically the scenario, the chart he shared, we have a big upside move like we have right here. Then we have a downside and then a blast in the roof move. Okay, it makes sense. To me, it makes sense. So all those things converging into the same date, it makes sense to me. Now let's take a look into Bitcoin, because I also believe there are some people on the Bitcoin side that are sharing something that may not happen. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. So we are already talking about the correction levels and percentage based on Fibonacci. So pretty straightforward, right? If you haven't seen, you can go back and watch the previous video. Then you will properly understand it. So right now is Bitcoin have a key level that I shown to you guys even before new highs. So I was the very first. Okay, and here it is. This is a trap range. Why a trap range? Because anybody who sell physical coins or try to short right here will have a liquidation just above. And just above means in between. Everything that stays in between is bad business. Okay, always, always. Every time we are looking to make trades, we are looking for the outside regions, not inside regions. So, this being said, if we are right and Bitcoin takes a hit following Dow Jones and everything else, this is what we may expect. There is a lot. I'm not even looking at the numbers, but I bet my shoes there is a lot of buying orders around this whole range right here, 75, 70, even 65. Okay, I bet my shoes on it. And once again, if we take a look into Fibonacci, what we are going to find out. We will be inside the honey spot. We are already in, as you guys can see right here. So you see, it's the perfect place for a trap. There is no other better place for such a trap. Okay, I bet there are people talking about 60K, the support and resistance people talking about 55K, 45K, whatever. But no, I really don't think so. Short term. Let's take a look. Do we have the correction of the correction? Yes, we have. Just like on XRP, we can remove here because this was a big zero. So in reality, we had a correction move from the previous fall, the drop. And now we have what? A correction move, very weak, from the previous fall. So far we are still having corrections, correction, which means the market is not ready and it is not in a position that it should be, making higher lows instead of lower highs. Okay, so all this being said, what we can expect right now, if we are right about this whole thing in the bigger picture, okay, 75K. So let's say the target 75. So 75 would be very close, right? So just for the sake of this example, let's say it is going to be whatever the number is, 70. It is going to, in my humble opinion, it is going to be ready for the next phones. And if they are going to cut rates, we are likely to see a monster trap in a trend in the direction. Okay, because just a moment. Okay, so the phones, it's right here. Yeah, okay, so this one right here. And the previous one was 29th of January. We gotta go into the daily. Yes. So I made two big mistakes. Two. One, I didn't give the necessary importance to the Fed decision, which I showed. This was a very foolish mistake, very dumb mistake. I was probably very, very biased and hyped about the news of the strategic reserve, Please forgive me, folks. So I was very biased and hyped because, well, we showed, right? It's a big event. It is nothing just usual. It is something completely new, right? But it caught me off guard. And that's the mistake that I made, even though we were right multiple times here, right? On the weekend behavior, red weekend, green week, the gifts. So yeah, we despite the one of the mistakes here, we've been doing well. Even the drop here, which we almost nailed, almost close to the day and the hour, right? So this was crazy. Yeah. So I ask you the question again. Does it make sense that we are chasing. So up, right? Up to the event and down to the event. So does it make sense? Yes, in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense. And also, we still hold strong higher low. And also, there will be traps. And also, oh, this is truly something, right? And also we have what? The perfect spot for a massive trap for those who are bearish, because let me try to put it this way. They are going to be right here. So let's say this is the range. So this is the range in price and time. Bears are going to be right. And this is the range and time. We are right. So do you see the difference from so this is basically what I call they are, so fools are going to be right in the short term. Okay, so this it's always like this. When they are right before they are wrong, we are wrong before we are right. So even this is inverted. Okay, when they are bearish, we are bullish. When we are bullish, they are bearish. This is the standard that will never change, right? So here we are. So folks, once again, let's pay attention. We are 18 minutes from the magic hour. But Dow Jones only opens in 3 hours and 18 minutes. 2 hours and 18 minutes, if I'm not wrong. We can follow on US 30 FXCM right here. Okay, so you can follow even before the opening on the conventional way. So this is the one to follow. Okay, so eyes here for now, and let's see what the future brings into these coming days and let's say final hours, right? So yeah. Yeah, I think that's all for now. If there is any change, I will let you guys know. Just a second. Okay, so just before we go, one clear example here. As we can see on XDC, XDC is flat. I mean, it's looking good, right? Very narrow, very aggressive, and now we have a narrow point. I mean flat, a flat point behavior. This is no good, okay? So what we are very likely to see can be back to 5 cents range. And then we come back again. Not sure if you guys remember. This is the key level right here. It could even be bigger. Could even be. I don't think it is going to be. Just the 5 range, it's enough. And if we take a look right here. So far we have a 58. Back to 5 cents range, it would be more than 60, which when we compare to Fibo, it is going to be, it's in the honey spot already. Okay, so all this range, it's buying range. Okay, so just a quick heads up here on XDC as well, but other than this, there is nothing to talk about. It's looking good. had the proper, let's say, enough correction before continuation following the coming events that we just talked about. Okay, so this is my expectations. This is how I see and what I what I'm trying to, the things that I'm trying to get right. Okay, so folks, thanks again. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for your support. You guys are amazing. And don't forget to smash the like button, share with your friends, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment. It will greatly help this channel to continue growing. Okay, so I will see you guys soon. Thanks again. Stay safe and see ya.